Papoose is the wealthiest man that I've been with. And that's like no faking. I haven't paid for a flight, a hotel, a fucking purse, nothing in I don't know how long. Food, he take care of everything.
Child, this was a setup Papoose and Remy had in motion from the start. The goal was always to pull Claressa Shields back in, and so far, they've done exactly that. That's probably why they're still married. Claressa has always stood 10 toes down for Papoose, saying he was the first man who treated her right. What she didn't know was that the reason he was always around was because she was footing the bill. Literally, whether out of spite or strategy, Remy Ma already hinted that Claressa was Papoose's latest come-up. And she can say it freely because no one is really going to believe her anyway.
You're a user, and you over there playing with that girl. You over there playing with her. If I thought she would believe it and would listen or even care, because anytime somebody gonna say like, yeah, they told me what the situation was and I accepted it.
And now Remy Ma's words are starting to sound prophetic, because new details are surfacing that suggest Papoose has been pulling money from Claressa to cover his own debts, and it doesn't look like he plans on stopping until there's nothing left for him to take.
Oh, I'm never gonna stop talking about my man. I just brought him his food in the back because he was upstairs. Ain't that y'all joke? Oh, he's upstairs. Just brought him his food. And y'all talking shit, but guess what? Ain't nobody gonna ever make me stop talking about my man. That's what y'all think y'all gonna do. You're not gonna do it. Whenever I feel like saying Papoose's name, I'm gonna say his name. Clark it.
Okay, so ever since Remy Ma and Papoose went from being black love to straight up black poison, Claressa ended up getting exposed as the woman Papoose has been spending time with. From that point on, her name has been tied to non-stop drama. Anytime she pops up in the headlines, 9 times out of 10, it's because she's talking about Papoose or snapping online over their relationship. With all that chaos around her, people forget who Claressa really is. She's one of the greatest female boxers of all time, a world champion and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. And yeah, she might move wild when it comes to Papoose, but Claressa is the only boxer, male or female, to be undisputed in 4 weight classes, holding belts across 5 divisions. She even had a movie made about her, The Fire Inside, with Ryan Destiny playing her, but none of that gets remembered because she's always caught up in mess behind a man. Even if Claressa doesn't fully see her own value, Papoose definitely does, and he wasted no time stepping in to benefit from it. Claressa got Papoose performing in arenas and packed venues he never reached on his own, not even when he was with Remy Ma. And let's be honest, we haven't seen this much Papoose in over a decade. While his pen is respected, he simply doesn't have the commercial pull or visibility without Claressa Shields. She's reportedly got him moving as more than just her partner. He's traveling with her as her manager and boxing promoter, talking about how they create opportunities and money together. And one of those opportunities Claressa credits to Papoose is an alleged $8 million multi-fight deal with Salida Promotions and Win Records, which, by the way, is a record label.
Impossible without Papoose.
His transition to the executive suite as a creative director of the record company helped broker the deal that secures Shields' spot as one of the highest paid female boxers in the business.
As a fan, watching Claressa from the outside, I never seen someone who was more deserving.
She signed the deal back in November and even held a whole press conference, pushing it as something never done before. But let me break down what that contract is really about. Win Records isn't a traditional boxing promoter at all, it's more of a music management label, with Papoose as the main artist and head of their hip-hop division. That makes Claressa Shields the very first athlete they've ever signed. A management label like this controls appearances, branding, and endorsement deals, and if Claressa suddenly decides she wants to rap, they're positioned to make that happen too. Management teams like this usually take anywhere from 10 to 20% off the top. Then you've got Salida Promotions stepping in as well, And they're taking a cut too. That's an actual boxing promotion company. They're the ones securing her fights, handling the events, managing logistics, and selling broadcast rights to outlets like ESPN or Netflix. They're not running her personal life, but when it comes to her boxing career, Salida is responsible for pitching her and hyping up her fights. And to do that, they're also taking a percentage of whatever Claressa earns. So now you've got multiple middlemen all reaching into Claressa's bag. And once everyone takes their share, guess who's left doing all the work? Claressa breaking her back and her jaw, literally, while walking away with far less than she should.
It's impossible, y'all. But you know what I'm gonna say? It wouldn't have been possible without Papoose. Papoose and Papoose and Win Records have been working together for about 3-4 years now. And since I've met Ruben, he has been just so nice and so open. And the last fight, when we had so much success at LCA, where we sold out 16,000 fans, that was because myself, Papoose, Win Records, and Sleep Promotion all worked together collectively to make that work. So I'm so grateful to them, and so grateful that I have a team who understands that, who understands my value, and who want to see me win. And we're going to continue to work together and make this big, so congrats.
Claressa basically signed herself into one of those infamous 360 style deals that artists used to drag in the music industry, where you do all the work and still end up wondering where the money went. So the real question is, why would the most dominant female boxer of this generation sign a deal better suited for a struggling rapper? Word is, the only reason Claressa agreed to it in the first place is because Papoose was involved behind the scenes. Even at the press conference, Claressa made it clear the deal wouldn't have happened without Papoose playing a role. Right now, Claressa is the only real star on Win Records, which means the entire label is basically riding on her shoulders. And let's be clear, Papoose is getting a commission just for bringing her in, on top of being tied into everything else Claressa does. Anytime Claressa lands a gig, Papoose gets a piece of that too. And according to Street Talk, the money flowing in from Claressa is what Papoose is using to fund his lifestyle and chip away at his tax problems. The issue is, Papoose reportedly hasn't paid taxes in over a decade and owes the IRS more than $300,000. Remy Ma, on the other hand, allegedly owes over $600,000 herself, putting their combined tax debt at more than $1 million. Remy has thrown shots at Claressa, calling her Papoose's come up like she's above the situation. But what makes all of this look funny is the fact that they're still legally married. Papoose did file for divorce, but it hasn't been finalized, and Remy is said to have pulled it off the table. Meanwhile, they go at each other publicly, keeping up the drama just enough to sell the image.
And we saw that he currently owes and has not paid taxes for the past, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, but 13 years. This man, what does that say, Jasmine? 3, what does it say?
I want to say it says...
That's the 180,000 top name of who? Taxpayer? Willie Mack, but he ain't paying no taxes, so he shouldn't be called a taxpayer. He should be called a tax ower. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah. And so these are just Papoose's. Now, the reason I think that this is a tender swindler, the reason I think that there's some tricking going on here is because when Papoose and Remy were together doing an endorsement in a fur coat show store the other day, she seemed very happy to be there. When I found her tax record, what is it? Yeah, let me see. How much is those tax liens? Remy currently has $622,474.76. Guess who's gonna pay it? Guess who's gonna pay it? The one, according to her own cousin, okay, that got a disability check when she was a kid for being just a tad bit off.
Now people are starting to connect the dots, and the word on the street is that there's no way Remy Ma and Papoose aren't still working together. Either way, both of them come out on top. Even if Papoose ends up dumping Claressa, he's still going to get a piece of her bag. If she decides to chase a rap career, he gets a cut from that too. Basically, he's cashing in from every angle, using that money to pay off his own debts and cover Remy's as well, since he can still be held responsible while they remain legally married.
I feel like Claressa has been taken advantage of her whole life, okay? And I want to say this, because she's been boxing since forever. I don't know her childhood, but I do know that her best friend who grew up with her came out and made some rather disturbing videos about Claressa being taken advantage of, you know, when she was younger as a young boxer by her coaches and getting pregnant and things like this. And so when I see people like Papoose enter the Cash App requesting money from people like Claressa, after Remy has already warned us that, you know, he preyed on her when she was in jail. He wasn't making no money. It was Remy's money. And she said she put everything in his name, only to come out and then have to work, and then he's getting the benefit of the solid black man, of the black man that's holding everything down. And so when I look at this same thing possibly being done to Claressa, and she's slow by default, and I'm talking about slow as in, you know, she probably got some early stage, you know, some issues going on, being knocked around, you know, it does have an effect on your brain and on your cognitive thinking and stuff, and you're not able to see straight. And if she was already taken advantage of by her coaches, surely it's easier for a bum like this to come in and take advantage of her too. I personally think they're still sleeping together. That's just my thing. I'm just gonna hold that right there.
And the internet is really hoping Claressa wakes up and realizes that both Remy Ma and Papoose are benefiting from her being tied to them. If she doesn't see it soon, she's going to wake up and find herself with nothing left 1000%. Yeah, I did my homework. And the verdict is clear. She's getting played faster than a New York minute. Papoose is absolutely preying on Claressa Shields, and it's sad because she clearly has some cognitive blind spots. Every time she talks, the signs are right there. Miss Shields is insecure and fixated on a man who doesn't really care for her. That said, I genuinely hope Claressa finds true self-love and real romantic happiness. She's been through a lot. Papoose isn't the only one to blame, and I really hope he doesn't end up breaking her heart. What do you all think about this situation? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!